Okay, so today we are going to be creating our drawing for our snow forest, and here are two student examples. And you can kind of see we're going to follow the same kind of instructions. And then I have some visuals here that you can look and get some ideas from or create your own. And our I Can statement today says, today I will learn about space so that I can create a sense of perspective in my landscape with a foreground and background. And so remember, foreground is in front and background is here. So everything in the foreground will have lots of detail, and it's going to be a lot fuzzier in the background, okay? So we're going to kind of follow along with this sheet right here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write your name and your class code on it, and then we're going to flip the paper over, okay? And we're going to add a little dot, okay? And this dot can be anywhere in the paper, but I would suggest somewhere in the middle, and it could be anywhere, right, left, directly in the middle, that's fine. So I'm going to draw a little dot right here, okay? So what I'm going to do first is this is where like the water is going to be down here, and this is going to be the start of your hills. So I can kind of have a curvy line here and one that kind of curves along that side, okay? So that would be, this is the sky right here. Then you're going to draw where the pond or the river is. So then I'm going to have a curvy line down in there and then one here. Okay, so I've almost created like an X. So this would be the water, here's our left side, this will be the land and hills, and then over here is the same, and then we'll have the mountains. So now I'm gonna add some mountains back here, some coming up here, and they can have whatever kind of top that you want, and then one right in here. So I've got 3 on mine, and that works, okay? So next, I'm going to add where the bottom part here. I'm going to have some like water, or the water will go to the land. So I'm going to have a little curvy line here. Okay, I'm going to cross over this. I'm going to have that as part of my land now. So I'm just going to go over it. I can still paint over it. Then I'm going to draw some lines where I want my trees. So here's my water. So you want these trees to be anywhere from this ground line here and right up there, okay? To make it look interesting, okay? So I've got the tree started, okay? You don't need to draw anything else, okay? Now, I'm gonna start painting. And so we're gonna get the little tray, just like we did before, and your water cup. So if you have any mixed colors, and we're gonna do all that double loading technique, which remember it's 2 or more colors. So I'm gonna paint kind of like a mix turquoisey green color over here. So I'm gonna double load yellow and green or blue, and I'm gonna create green. And I can paint this in there, this section in there, and notice I love the color changes. So I'm gonna go yellow, I like that, a little bit of blue, to make green, and I'm kind of making it not perfect when I'm painting. I'm giving it some texture, just like what we did in our little practice that we worked on, okay? And it's also nice with this because then when you do that, you're going to get not a flat, boring color. It's gonna look interesting. And then if I'm ready to change my colors or work in another section, I will just go in my water, clean out my brush, rinse it out, sometimes wipe it, dry it off, and then I can go and work in another section. So I kind of like this color, these shades of yellows and greens, so I'm gonna do that over here. I'm right-handed, so I'm flipping my paper over. So I go into the yellow and green. I will tell you, once you start getting the colors that you want, you'll find, okay, I want mostly yellow and green. I like that. I'm gonna keep on going. I can be like, okay, it's a little bit darker right in there. Maybe I'm gonna go over it with a little bit of yellow, okay? Or even to lighten it up even more, maybe yellow and then some white. And that will make it look more subtle. So I'm just kind of brushing, letting the paints kind of mix right directly on my paper and seeing what happens. kind of getting away from the blue, so let me go into the blue right over here. And I'm doing like little brush strokes, like short strokes. You could have it painted more like this if you want it to be smoother. It's up to you. You're the artist, you're the painter. You can do it however you want. And the nice thing is, you see where I painted the tree? I definitely know where I'm gonna paint over that next time. Okay, I'm just gonna paint over just a little bit of this section. You can kind of see what's happening. So that's my grassland. And then here, right here, I went the same shade. I might go over this a little bit with a darker blue just to show that maybe that's the bottom of the hills there, so it doesn't look quite the same. So just paint right on top. And notice I'm just using the regular blue, and I usually say you have to use 2 colors, but since there's already color on the lower part, that's just naturally happening and creating a nice mix. So it can get a little messy, okay? So I would really limit your paint colors. Don't go crazy and mix every color of the rainbow. I've been just focusing on just the yellow, the blue, and the white. Just 3 colors in that area. Maybe I'll use maybe a little bit of brown back here just to show that it's a little bit darker, or to show that it's a farther away, so the color's maybe not so pure. Okay, and I am not gonna even touch those trees until that paint's dry, okay? Maybe my mountains, I want them to look kind of orangey or pink, whatever I want. The water, probably blues and yellow, and yellows maybe, and whites. So just kind of have fun layering your colors. And then remember, any kind of drastic change, always go to the water, wipe off your brush when you're finished. So let's say I'm gonna go to the water here. So maybe this one I'm gonna paint right in there. So I kind of have blue, and then maybe I could have maybe ripples of the white on there where the sun is glistening. So I just want you to have fun with this, okay? Now the great thing about paint, because I know we have some perfectionists in here, the great thing about paint is if you don't like something, you just let it dry and you paint over it the next week and it's fine. I do plenty of stuff that I don't like, and then I change my mind and let it dry, and then all of a sudden I like it the next week. So don't panic or think you ruined your paper. Just kind of have fun with it, and don't be afraid to mix the colors right on top of here to give it a cool effect, okay? So that's what we'll be working on today and the next week. If you don't get this far, that's okay. Just try to get as far as you can.